At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized, so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
The 2026 Minnesota Golf Show is swinging into the Minneapolis Convention Center February 13th through 15th, and we want your business on the green. With thousands of passionate golfers roaming the floor, this is your chance to get your brand in front of this quality demographic with a vendor booth or larger sponsorship. And this year's ambassador, NFL Hall of Famer and Viking legend John Randall. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Want in? Don't wait for your invitation to land in the fairway. Call Bernie Lauer at 651-632-6646 or email blaur@hbi.com before the best spots are gone.
Join me, John Randall, at the North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show, February 13th through the 15th at the Minneapolis Convention Center. Test your skills in the long putt contest for a shot at a $100,000 prize package. Plus, try the latest gear from top manufacturers and get free lessons from local PGA pros. Don't miss it.
Tickets on sale now at mngolfshow.com. Save $3 with advance purchase. Each ticket includes 14 free greens fee passes at area courses. Learn more at mngolfshow.com.
Arnold Investment Consultant brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1696. January 16, 2026. 46 degrees, the record high on this day in 1961. And it was 29 below on this day in the covered wagon days of 1888. Do yourself a big favor and call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you! And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your Flashlight King, Fireworks Commissioner, and the Keeper of Common Sense, your Mayor, Joe Souchere.
You know what I'd like to own? A sleigh. Oh. But then you'd have to have a horse.
I'd have a horse to pull.
And I have no place to keep the horse. Well, wouldn't a sleigh be nifty? In the old days...
For what purpose? To go for a sleigh ride?
Cutter, yes, Kenny, a cutter.
Yeah.
Now, in the old days... The plowing could not have been better than it is today, right? It would.
Well, which city? St. Paul?
Well, anywhere. Wouldn't the plowing have been primitive? And so, how did those cutters get over, traverse all of the horrible ice that would develop? And people must.
Cutters had very, very narrow rails, too.
They must have fallen out of those things. You know, they were in their lap robes and all bundled up and had heated bricks at their feet that probably burned right through the bottom of the cutter. But that's how they got around, see? And I think it'd be neat to have an authentic old sleigh. I bet there's a lot around. My garage hunting has never included sleighs. And I've never encountered one. But I bet there are people that really zero in on sleighs.
My grandfather owned a sleigh.
I bet it was neat.
It was kind of cool. I don't remember ever riding in it as a youth, but I know that they did sell it when my grandfather passed away.
I'll be damned.
I will tell you that in Coon Rapids, in Johnny's neck of the woods, there is a company that will give a family, a huge group, sleigh rides, horse-drawn sleigh rides, and I must say it is a lot of fun.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't think that's unique. I think there are a number of places.
Where you think they go around the strip mall and they pass Quick Trip and
I think there are plenty of places where you can book a sleigh ride. Plenty.
But I have several times. And
I'm sure
it's
you
a blast.
have. I'm sure you have.
Whatever Coon Rapids
hand
Park
in hand.
is.
Hand in hand.
They'll fireball and keep you warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got plans for the weekend?
You mean Harmony Spirits?
Hey, big
Yes.
plans for the weekend?
None of your business.
John, big plans?
It's also none of your business.
Kenny?
You have a Harmony today?
Nothing. He just shake it.
He's already out of material.
Rook. No. There's a method. There's a method to my madness. Rook, do you have big plans for the weekend?
Yeah, big plans start out at about 7:30 at the airport for a spell, and then I think it's the honeydew list at home.
I might go to the RV and trailer show.
Oh, I'm not joking. I would go with you.
Yeah.
It's fun to go in those RVs.
Well, no, hold it.
Pretend you're camping.
No, see?
You sit in the chair.
Joe, you get the top bunk.
People are like, this guy's been in for 20 minutes. Get out of my camper.
Were they like that?
They are. I have done that before.
Before you get to serious matters, can we address one
I
thing?
don't even want to get to serious matters.
Can we address the
I'm tired.
Sherlock Holmes
I hate
looking
this state.
bleeper over here with that shirt?
It's Sherlock Hemlock. Sherlock Hemlock here.
You do wear some odd shirts, man. They're thick.
This is like a shacket.
Yeah, another shacket.
I had a shacket on yesterday. You know what they are? They're cozy, like your covered
Is it
wagon
thick
knees.
or is it insulated? Is there insulation?
Not
in it?
insulated.
This one is not. My
It's just
others
heavy.
are.
Just a lot of material.
Yeah. But I do have a lot going on. Thank you for asking. Mass on Sunday, probably 9 o'clock at Nativity.
You asked.
Is it 9 or 9:30? Donut
You might
Sunday
have
to
some space
follow.
management to deal
Donut
with.
Sunday is every Sunday now at Nativity.
Really?
Yes.
Can I just come for the donuts?
You got to throw a little 5-spot or something in there.
Well, yesterday we tried to create some understanding of what's taking place on the streets. I don't think there's any doubt that there's a lot of bad blood between Walz and Trump.
Oh, you think?
I got this note from a source who is an agent with ICE.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, wow.
And he's a friend of a friend of mine.
Got it. I wish I had a mole in
In
ice.
fact, he's a friend of a friend of the show. And I find him trustworthy.
Why don't I know this?
Not holding individuals with ICE detainers is one of the issues at play here. All right? The other issue is the communication to ICE when an individual is jailed and held.
Okay.
Who's not holding ICE detainers? You didn't make that clear. We know, but say that again.
Well, I'm getting to that. I'm trying to lay it out the way this guy told my friend. Local LEOs, law enforcement officers, can contact ICE if they have an individual with an ICE detainer. Although the local LEO cannot detain the individual longer than they would for the charge they were arrested for in the first place. You with me? Mm-hmm. So Juan, I hate to pick on Juan, but that Eduardo is picked up for shoplifting. Let's say it's his third offense. He's arrested. He goes to jail.
Yep.
His lawyer tries to get him out.
Of course.
It's $5,000 bail. He can't afford it. So he has to sit there until his next court hearing. Let's say it's 48 hours. At which point, the LEOs, the sheriff's office, is required to release him to his attorney, presumably.
Yep.
All right. There's no law in Minnesota. And in the meantime, they're looking up Eduardo and they see, oh, he's got a federal detainer note here. He's got a federal hold on him. If I'm understanding this correctly, and I want to have a peaceful show today, if I'm understanding that correctly, that means there is no law preventing law enforcement from calling ICE and saying, we've got so-and-so here. We note that he has a federal hold on him. We have to release him tomorrow on a different matter. We're releasing him at 10 a.m. at the southeast entrance to the building. Thank you. Goodbye. ICE can take that information. They can be waiting there at 10 a.m. the next morning, and they can intercept the fellow as he comes out onto the street.
That's not aiding. They can communicate with ICE.
I don't think that's against. I don't think that violates Minnesota law.
I don't either. I think that's a.
What would violate Minnesota law, apparently, would be ICE knowing Eduardo's in there on a shoplifting charge from showing up and saying, we want him right now. LEO says, no, we got him for 48 hours. Do you have a warrant? And if they didn't have the warrant, no. Eduardo stays in the custody of local law enforcement. Everybody with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So what might very well be happening in Minnesota, and I do not know to what extent, is we are not calling ICE. When calling them might very well prevent these scenes in our streets.
In the neighborhoods. Okay.
Let me continue with this guy's letter. Although the local LEO can not detain the individual longer than they would for the charge they were arrested for, they may contact ICE. They can. When the name appears on a federal hold list. This, as I say, this allows ICE to arrest the person as they are being released from jail at the holding facility or just outside the door, thus securing the individual at a relatively controlled location. The local leadership, this is from our source, mayors, county attorneys, governors, sheriffs, police chiefs, are choosing not to contact ICE when these individual names are flagged. They are choosing not to contact ICE and give ICE the opportunity to meet the suspect at the door.
They are not doing
They are not choosing to do that. I don't know to what extent. I would imagine they have on some occasions.
Okay.
This is what I understand is one of the biggest concerns and problems with Minnesota, and it is leading to the conflict and chases based on conversations with my contact who works for Homeland. There is a window of time for ICE to react, 36 to 48 hours, where if contacted, they could arrest the individual without conflicting with Minnesota law. Staff?
I read something that corroborates that this morning. I've been looking for it feverishly here, and I'm sorry I cannot find it. I can paraphrase it, but I know I'll get something wrong.
I'll go ahead, and maybe we can help parse it out.
In the past, an ICE agent would go to, say, for instance, Hennepin County lockup in the morning, go through the list of detainees. If there was an illegal alien in there, he would return, that ICE agent would return when that detainee was about to be released. They'd pick him up, no fuss, no muss. Things have changed, and that is no longer the practice. That's what I remember of the piece. I really wish I could find it so I don't sound like such an ass.
Okay, the part that needs explanation there is, are ICE agents forbidden to wander into jails and look at the records?
That's what I'm looking for.
That must be the case.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, say that, are ICE agents forbidden from wandering into jails and randomly looking for Julio?
That's what Kenny is surmising from what he read.
Okay. What would be advantageous for the MPD not to contact ICE and say, we've got John Smith here, he's a serial child molester, and he leaves at 10:15?
We can make an assumption, Matthew.
I would make the assumption that if he was a serious serial child abuser, ICE would be contacted.
Okay.
That's my hope.
If he's shoplifting at Walmart, most
But
likely
to answer Rookie's question directly, you do have a police chief that has publicly said we will not cooperate.
That was my answer.
Yeah.
Is that for the cameras and then to wink, wink, nudge, nudge? He doesn't want bad guys running around either. Because he needs to have the faith of the people.
Well, the faith of the people of Minnesota has been lost.
Hi, I'm Chris.
Either to one side or the other.
Right.
The faith of the people of Minnesota has been lost.
How are we going to repair this?
Okay, we're not. We're going to stick to this topic for a moment, and then we'll figure out the repairs.
We'll circle back.
Yeah. Noted.
Let's see. What does this say? I'm trying to read the ones that maybe corroborate the source, who I have no reason to doubt.
Okay.
Joe, I'd argue what's happening here in Minnesota with ICE aligns well with your premise of how Trump ineffectively and often damagingly overcorrects. Just a mere 10 days ago, the primary news topic in this state was fraud. Not just here, but increasingly so on a national level. Walz had been forced to step away from his re-election bid and was very likely on a path of having to resign from the office entirely. Sure, he would always have his unwavering base support of, let's say, re-secure the middle. In just this short time, Trump has managed to take what he assumed would be a death blow to the Walz administration and instead turned it into a way for our state to quickly revert back to its ingrained tribal differences. Differences that, when the dust settles, will not allow fraud outrage to return from the back burner. It will make it easier to insulate those who negligently allowed it to flourish unchecked in the first place. Jonathan in Plymouth, Minnesota.
Wow.
I can find no way to pick apart his email. I can find no way.
I would agree. But I said last night when I said Walz is the happiest guy in the world.
Now look at it. Now look at it this way. I think this fellow was on to something. I do think this has become a wrestling match between Walz and Trump, with such unfortunate consequences so far.
Yeah.
A death already, for God's sakes. Another shooting in which someone was, and both characters, Walz and Trump, apparently can live with that. The rest of us are struggling to understand.
We're caught in the middle. Yeah.
My God, we can't be shooting people, but these two don't care. That's my opinion. They don't care. What? Oh, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you should
I?
do that. That's the break.
I held up this side.
Are you a crook or not?
Two, and then
Peace be with you.
So, what does Trump do? He doubles down and sends 2,000 more ICE agents here. What does Walz do? He's doubling down and riding very hard that horse that says, don't tell ICE anything. So we don't know to what extent, but it is in all probability true that on many occasions, ICE could be called and said, so-and-so is being released. Our 48 hours up. We have to let him go, but we've noted there's a federal hold on him. We're calling you as a professional courtesy. If you want to be at the east door at 10 a.m. tomorrow, he'll be released. We're not doing that because that would be seen as aiding Trump. And Trump hasn't cared about our fraud problem because it didn't work out for him. Most of the fraudsters are probably American citizens. So he comes to town, he discovers that. Fraud is now pushed aside. I'm here for illegal immigration only. We don't even rank high in the nation for the number of illegal immigrants. California's first, Texas, Florida, on and on and on. We don't rank highly. But Trump's action right now is focused on Minnesota, and Walz's action is focused on thwarting Trump. That does nothing for those of you who lived at 24th and Lyndale the other day. That does nothing for Renee Good. That does nothing for the people who live on Portland and 34th in that area. These two are having their war, and it's the rest of the people who will suffer.
Well, what a short attention span we have.
It's bad leadership on both fronts. Trump doesn't have the ability to back off and say, that fraud, we don't need to be there for immigration purposes on the fraud. We don't need to be there for that. We better let's put our manpower where there are more problems. And Trump and Walz doesn't have the leadership ability to say, I could really calm things down by instructing law enforcement, and they wouldn't even be breaking the law. I can really calm things down by telling law enforcement, if you ever see a federal hold on anybody you happen to have arrested lately, you call ICE and tell them when your time is up with them, and maybe they can be greeted at the door, and we'll avoid the flashbangs and the fireworks and the snowball throwing in the streets. Is that a reasonable analysis of what's taking place?
Mm-hmm. He won't, though.
Well, they both won't.
He's too far in it.
Yeah, they're both too deep now. They're both too deep.
The only thing I would add is I think that President Trump can fall back by saying, and defend himself, I should say, by saying, we're picking up illegal aliens that have done crimes. And I'll acknowledge the way they're doing it, door to door, pulling people over, et cetera, is bad optics. But I don't see anything that Walz can defend himself with, is there? I can't come up with anything.
No, the reason they're going door to door and stumbling around in the middles of streets is because of what Walz is doing. Yeah. The Venezuelan the other night who got shot in the leg, he's probably a wonderful example of this. Do we know, John, why he was arrested in the first place?
I have never seen that, and I looked that up when we were talking about it the other day.
Wait, what? The guy that got shot in the leg?
Yeah.
I read something over and over. I saw the words shovel attack.
Yeah, no. I want to know why he was in jail in the first place.
The guy who got shot in the leg. And why they wanted, what they're
But that might have been a perfect example of a guy who maybe he was in there because it was his third DWI or something.
We don't know.
And his lawyer couldn't arrange the bail, so now we're going to hold him for 48 hours. In the meantime, they say, this guy has a federal hold on him, which we now know was true. But they don't call ICE. At the 48-hour mark, this guy is released because he has to be. And now ICE has to find him. They're not going to find him at the door. They got to go to his neighborhood. They got to knock on doors. I think the optics are horrible too. But this is what this state has compelled, how this state has compelled ICE to behave. They have no other options. So it's a fine. You know what it is? It's a fine. How do you do?
That's right.
It's a Mexican standoff. Can we still say that, or is that racist?
Probably not.
Yeah.
You know how it is nowadays. Yeah. Have you noticed, or do you? Maybe that's not a good. Do you feel any different now when you're out in public, going from store to store, location, job to home, etc.?
No.
The reason I ask is because I talked to a few people from Minneapolis yesterday, and they told me different stories. One was going into a store and seeing a man in a mask just standing there looking at everybody, and then shortly thereafter was joined by a woman in a mask covered up, wearing hoodies, no identification on them, but sunglasses and a mask. And she felt that they were casing the place looking for illegals. And she said, I never would have felt this way last week. And now I'm wondering, were they ICE? And I talked to my son and his girlfriend, and they live on the south side, and he just said, we're keeping our heads down. We're staying away from the action, going from job to work and trying to avoid everybody.
Yeah. Well, there's another way to look at this, which is odd. If I talked to a woman this morning who was noting an absence of... Have you noticed an absence of traffic?
150%.
Yes. Wait a minute. I have, but I do every year between January and the end of spring break. It's light rush hours. Mondays and Fridays, really, really light. Mondays and Fridays are like Sundays. So it's, to me, this is normal, what we go through every winter. And I've always, and I don't know if I'm right or not, but I've always attributed to people being on vacation.
Well, it is Martin Luther King weekend this week.
No, but I will say I agree with Joe.
I never got to make my point.
Oh, please do.
I talked to a woman who was noticing the quietude on the streets as she went to work today. And businesses are closing, either closing or closing early. And the stores aren't as crowded. If that's true, and it's just anecdotal, that means maybe there's a hell of a lot more illegals than you think.
Or many people choosing to stay home,
I think there's people. I know one person who's a friend of somebody in my house, obviously, who's a young man who's here on DACA.
What's DACA?
DACA was when you were young.
Is he is he a foreigner?
He was born outside the country, was brought here when he was 2 years old, and has lived here ever since. He's now
American citizen.
He's Dylan's friend. He's Dylan's age. He's not an American citizen.
He's not.
He's here on the DACA program. That was the Obama program.
Yeah.
And he will not leave the house unless he absolutely have to. And he's not probably going to get arrested. I mean, there's no reason for him to. But.
And wait a minute. A friend of mine who lives in Alex sent me pictures of the Mexican restaurants in Ferguson and Alex. Yeah. They're all closed. You can get through the drive-thru, but you can't walk in the store. And I'm wondering, do Mexicans only work in Mexican fast food restaurants? What's going on here? Really? I didn't know that.
What do you know?
I do know that it's a miracle in a can. It prevents common engine problems. It makes your engine run better, last longer. I'm talking about Seafoam, of course. It does all that and more. It's safe, it's proven effective, and it's been helping us with our cylinders since 1942. I can't do the math. That's over 90 years, right? Yeah. It's now one of the best-selling automotive additives in North America. The answer, why? It's because it's the proven choice. Mechanics use it. Bench mechanics, shade tree mechanics, as we used to call them, use it. Moms use them, dads use them. It's the proven choice. If you drive, you need Seafoam. You add it to the gas, it'll solve all your upper engine problems, the carburetor intake issues, all of that. If you put it in the crankcase, and I would do it 100 miles before an oil change, it's going to knock loose all of that crud and junk, and it's going to flush right out when you pull the drain plug. It's available all over everywhere, including NAC hardware stores, big box stores, auto stores, convenience stores, grocery stores. You'll find it everywhere. Just look for it. A wonderful product in a world of bad gas. Our friend Seafoam.
I think Walz and Trump are the very same person addressing completely different audiences.
Yeah.
And the two audiences haven't caught on to the scam yet. Because both of them are failing to restore calm to this. The Trump audience believes we must enforce this law. If you're here illegally, we're going to find you and deport you, and we're going to do whatever it takes. And there's a great mass of American humanity that applauds that. That's the way to go. The Trump voice is, we don't care about the law. We're not going to help you enforce it. we're not going to make life easier for ICE.
The Walz view. You said
What did
Trump.
I say? I'm sorry.
You said
The
Trump. Yeah,
Walz view. The Walz
Yep.
view is we don't care what Trump is saying about the law. We're not going to adhere to the law. We're not going to help the law do its duty. Walz can probably get away with saying, we're not breaking any laws. No, you might not be, but you're also bending over backwards to not accommodate the law. And that in itself results in its own set of problems. So you got two guys who are basically championing completely different causes and appealing to two different audiences which haven't caught on yet to the destructive nature of both views. Now, the law enforcing immigration could be accomplished in far better ways. But that would require Walz to help enforce the law in far better ways.
You'd rather fight Trump.
But he might even be pinning his political future on this. I could end up being the guy that rides in on the white horse because I'm really appealing to all the progressives who think no one's illegal on stolen land.
There's no other. There's no other possibility. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's a cornered rat, and that's why.
But as the governor of the state of Minnesota, he has done nothing to calm the waters for the people he supposedly governs. Trump, on the other hand, doesn't give a rat's ass about the people Walz governs. Right. That's not his problem.
I agree.
He's going to do what he has to do to appeal to the mass of humanity who applauds what he's doing. Walz thinks he's appealing to the mass of humanity who applauds what he's doing. Thus, what do you have? Flash bombs on the streets. Flash grenades. What are those things called? Flash
bombs.
Flashbangs.
Flashbangs. So what's our immediate future? Flashbangs, snowball fights, God forbid, gunplay. This is where we are.
Stolen FBI trucks.
What? They were stealing the guns.
A Latino gang member. I don't know how they know that, but.
God, I saw a funny video of a Latino comedian whose name I didn't catch his name, but he's cool.
Yes, I think I know what you're going to say.
And he's saying, you people, you white Americans, you really fear Latinos. What do you think? We're going to come to your country and steal children and lock them in the basement? He says, that's your thing. And it went on. I can't remember what else he said, but it was just funny.
That wasn't the guy I saw. The guy I saw said, hey, white people, stop helping out the Latinos. If the tables were turned, we're not going to help you guys. So just stop helping us. We're out.
Oh, man.
I did find, Joe, you asked the Venezuelan who was shot in the leg what he was wanted for.
Yes.
DHS says that his name is Julio Cesar Sosa Salas.
Right.
Illegally entered the U.S. from Venezuela in 2022, has a conviction for driving without a license and a previous arrest for giving a false name to police.
Okay. Are we to conclude that on this occasion he was in jail for giving a false name to police? That's his most recent?
That's the most recent one they list, yep.
Okay, and
are we waiting for him at 10:15?
Probably had a public defender, and they said, he already did drive without a license, and now he's not telling the cops who he is. So you come back. I'm setting bail at $5,000. Well, he can't afford that. Okay, I'll come back in 48 hours. In the meantime, the 48 hours expires. They release this guy onto the street without first having informed ICE when they were going to release him.
Because not enough
That's a reasonable scenario.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
He doesn't pose a threat, so ICE, or they're not going to call ICE and say we're releasing him.
And because there's a federal hold on him, ICE has some basic information to work with. They probably know where he lives, or at least an address that he's been using, and they end up in that location Wednesday night, and the next thing you know, it's a circus.
Party time.
And what's his last name? Silas?
Sosa Silas.
Silas has friends who come to his aid. They're out there with shovels and brooms, and the ice guy's getting attacked. And the next thing you know, Sosa Silas is shot in the leg. The ice agent is hurt. They both go to the hospital. They'll both be fine. They had no life-threatening injuries. And then there's the hours of lingering and chanting and yelling and screaming, and the ice agents pushing people back and the people pushing forward, and the news reporters are out there choking on the gas, sounding like they're coughing up a lung, made for great TV as far as they were concerned. And all of that, it seems to me, all of that could have been avoided. That could have been avoided.
But when you say come to his aid,
he had buddies that I think ran to his aid.
But I think that's way too kind of a phrase. This cop was ambushed.
Well, okay, he had buddies who showed up to help him avoid arrest. How's that? Well, what do you want to say?
Ambushed.
Well, that's what happened.
Well, okay.
Oh, I got a letter from some lady who won't listen anymore because she thinks I'm too mean to you.
Mean to me?
Yeah.
That's part of the job.
Hey, lady.
That's part of
I've been here since
my job description.
Yeah. We've all had our turns. Okay.
Thanks for the fan mail.
Can I point something out? Speaking of a lady that emailed.
You?
Linda sent in a great email. She said, Reavers, I thought of you right away, and I thought I'd bring this to your attention. KSTP News had a video of kids that participated in the school walkout yesterday, the ice out. Remember, we mentioned this yesterday on the show at the state capitol. Some of them carrying signs. I had to laugh. One sign was being carried by a student who was proudly waving the sign around. Not sure I would have been so proud if I were that student. The sign read, Abolish ICE. ABOLSH.
Oh, no.
Well,
we got a lot of misspelling on the
failed
you think
academy.
He was a plan? Is he a double agent? Is he
Abolish ICE.
The failed academy ain't what it used to be.
Linda, you're the best.
Okay, here's the deal.
Oh, here in my shirt.
Here's the deal.
Hey, what do you got?
Compounding this was the remarks from, was it Tuesday I had the soliloquy about our culture?
Yes.
Our culture, I think it's indisputable. Our culture, meaning Minnesota, meaning most principally the 7-county metro area, has comfortably embraced an anti-law enforcement culture.
Yes.
Walz plays on that. He knows that. He's helped create it. He's a kingpin in the creation of that culture. So that's why Walz continues to play to his mass of humans, because he has successfully been the leader of this anti-law enforcement movement. And that's why Trump successfully plays to his mass of humans, because there are masses of humans in the United States who want law and order.
So we're at a chess match.
So we're as I say, we face a near-term scenario of more flashbangs, snowball fights, and God forbid, drawn guns. This is a standoff.
So if we fast forward 2 to 3 weeks down the road, which ICE has said we're going to have a heavy presence the next 2 to 3 weeks, what happens on week 3.5 or 4?
I don't know. And Walz is also getting away with what he's getting away with because he is zeroing in on Trump as his enemy. And Trump is the enemy of progressives, Mysterians, anyone else who doesn't believe in law enforcement. So it's a
I'm moving to Greenland.
It's a conundrum.
Wait.
Got bad news for you, Ruck.
Okay, sorry. Iceland?
Thou shalt not steal. Well, except for Greenland.
Unless it's a big country that's not very populated.
So that's where we are, folks. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you later.
Speaking of that, I heard this yesterday, and I was astounded by this. Do you guys know what the population of Greenland is?
56,000 people.
Oh, well, you ruined the fun.
I happen to know these things.
We've all read it
I
this
did know
week,
that,
Chris.
too, yeah. I'm glad you had your revelation, but... Karen's going to call again.
Did you need one of those?
I do. Are we going to Johnny?
I would like to.
I'd like to first tell our friends about North American Banking Company.
Yes, please.
They have been doing this since 1998, and way back then, they decided to create a better banking experience for their customers where you know your banker and they know you, creating a better banking experience. And you get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Roseville and 50th and France are the home of yours truly, but you can also see them in Woodbury, Hastings. Hastings, by the way. Go there for Hockey Day, Minnesota tomorrow and stop in at the Hastings location. Woodbury, Shoreview, and also Maple Grove. They offer all of the same services as those other big national banks, whether you're looking to buy a home, perhaps finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been dreaming about. Their experts will make it happen. And they also have the same updated and online mobile banking tools as those same national banks. But see it for yourself. Check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
Down.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Here's John Heidt.
Well, thank you, Smiley Joe. This news is brought to you by the North American Banking Company. Should I feel melancholy about this? I just been seeing this online the last couple of days. They tore down my high school this week.
Oh.
Should I feel
Yes,
melancholy?
you should.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's going to last a few years. They tore mine down 4 years ago, and I'm still not over it.
I'm kind of surprised it was still standing, John.
Mine was turned into a completely different school.
No, mine it's rubble. I've seen pictures. It's nothing but rubble at this point.
I had a chance right before the wrecking ball came to walk through it and relive all the memories.
They did that last year, but I was here, so I didn't make
Kenny,
it back.
did you go have one more smoke by your smoking spot? Or were you quitting by then?
I did look for all my favorite spots were still there.
John, what was the name of your high school?
Mandan Senior High School.
Mandan Senior High.
Very clever name.
Home of the Braves.
Oh, boy, and they were allowed to use the name Braves until the end.
Was it still in operation?
It's still a Mandan Braves. No, they built a new high school.
I checked the window in study hall that we used to sneak through in the middle of the night. That was still unlocked.
I want to check. I want to check more for my cartoon bubble. John, what year was your high school built?
1953 or 54. I don't remember.
It's like a stadium.
That's brand new, practically.
Right. And the new high school apparently is gorgeous. The pictures I saw, it's got like 3 gyms, a swimming pool.
Okay. Now you're getting somewhere. In your gym, was your gym only had one bank of seats, like a theater? And then you viewed the gym floor from your bank of seats?
No, it actually had bleachers on both sides.
Oh, that's too modern.
Was it multifunction? Your gym multifunctional as the auditorium, the gymnasium?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
we would have
cafeteria?
the Air Force jazz band would come through. They'd play in the gym.
Whoa,
you know what I mean?
Boy.
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Continue, please.
All right.
And what is your population?
Didn't I just say continue,
your
please?
senior. Well, how many? I just want to know how many were in your senior class.
My senior class, I know this only because I just had my 50th reunion, was 298.
Oh, that's pretty big.
Graduates.
Pretty healthy.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, there's 190 left or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
well.
Let's move on, shall we?
Yeah, John, get going here.
In the news, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information that leads to the arrest of those responsible for the destruction and theft of government property in Minneapolis Wednesday night. According to the agency, several government vehicles were vandalized and broken into and government property stolen after the FBI responded to the scene of an ICE-involved shooting. Federal officials did not provide info about what items were taken, but U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said federal agents have arrested a man accused of stealing armor and weapons from the FBI, alleging that he's a member of the Latin Kings gang. Follow-up to a story we talked about Monday. A federal judge says immigration agents' actions were illegal when they busted open a Minneapolis family's door on Sunday and detained a man. However, after initially releasing Garrison Gibson, he's now been rearrested. On Sunday morning, Gibson's family said federal agents presented them with a warrant signed by an immigration officer and not a judge. What that means is they couldn't enter the home because you'd need a judicial warrant for that. They did enter the home. Gibson was arrested, a citizen of Liberia, but he's been legally residing in Minnesota. Court documents show he's been in the U.S. for the last 2 decades. 4 years ago, he was placed under supervision by U.S. immigration officials, but court records say at no point has he ever been deemed a danger to the community, a flight risk, or has he been convicted of any new crime warranting any detention. His attorney quickly filed a lawsuit to get an immediate hearing for his release, claiming his supervision was unlawfully revoked and his Fourth Amendment rights were violated. On Thursday afternoon, the judge agreed. They ordered federal agents to release Gibson. His lawyer said that ICE released him last night, but ordered him to check in at the Whipple Federal Building this morning. When Gibson got there, he was arrested again. It's not immediately clear if his most recent arrest will also be challenged in court.
It should have been mentioned in the first segment that the other problem contributing to this standoff is that both camps are not ever considering fact. They're only considering their political allegiance.
That's what's wrong.
Yep.
It's kind of America right now, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
In general.
It's the entire country.
A district court judge blocked the U.S. Department of Agriculture this week from stopping payments to Minnesota for federal food assistance unless the state recertified all households receiving SNAP benefits. Last month, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins gave Minnesota a 30-day deadline to conduct in-person interviews for more than 100,000 households enrolled in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. That deadline would have come around yesterday. In a lawsuit seeking to stop the impending funding freeze, Attorney General Keith Ellison called the demand utterly impossible, even with advance notice. The preliminary injunction issued this week means about 440,000 Minnesotans will continue to get their normal SNAP benefits. In her December letter to Governor Walz, Secretary Rollins said the recertification push was necessary to root out any fraudulent beneficiaries. Rollins wrote, "More accurate certifications of eligibility for SNAP benefits will ensure those that need them receive assistance." A USDA spokesperson said the department does not comment on any pending litigation. Star Tribune reporting for Twin Cities real estate in 2025 ended badly despite the most favorable mortgage rates of the year. In December, homeowners across the 16-county metro area retreated, causing a 10% annual decline in the number of signed purchase agreements. And according to new data from the St. Paul Area Association of Realtors, those pending sales fell to the lowest level for any month since January 2008, the beginning of the subprime mortgage crisis. Sellers were nearly as scarce. There was a 4% decline in new listings during the month, leaving buyers with the fewest options that they had in all of 2025. That scarcity of listings helped boost prices as buyers in many parts of the metro found themselves bidding against others. On average, sellers got only slightly less than their asking price, and houses sold within just a couple of months. While a December downturn isn't unusual, the depth of the most recent decline injects new uncertainty in the market that so far has been resilient amid the economic instability in the U.S.
Carl Anthony Towns just sold his house. It was out in Medina $4.5 million. It was a nice place.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary, just a big house.
Okay.
You know.
In international news, President Trump threatening to impose tariffs this morning on countries that oppose his efforts to take control of Greenland. The president speaking at the White House.
See, I think that's a ray of hope that there's still some sap left in Minnesota who would pay $4.5 million to still live here.
Here's today's ray of hope.
The president said, I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland because we need Greenland for national security. Speaking during a healthcare event, Trump said the threat of tariffs against countries like France and Germany had helped him address other things like high prices for prescription drugs. Trump said that approach could help him gain control of Greenland. Meanwhile, European troops were arriving in Greenland yesterday in a show of support as leaders were scrambling to respond to President Trump's threats to take over Greenland. Trump pushed ahead with his aim of, quote, conquering one European territory, Denmark's top diplomat said after a high-stakes meeting in Washington on Wednesday. The president then sided with the man who invaded another, casting Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky rather than Russia's Vladimir Putin as the obstacle to peace on that continent.
Can you imagine the U.S. at war with Greenland? Wasn't there a Marx Brothers movie where they were the principals in a mythical
Fredonia?
I mean, 12 people there, and then
Well, that's what was astounding me. So basically, the same number of people that live in the country of Greenland live in Mankato.
Right.
I mean, it's the same number.
But is it true that if we try to overtake Greenland, NATO's going to implode and we're in big trouble with worldwide?
I would think so.
Okay.
France and Germany just sent their troops there yesterday to help Greenland.
The French don't bother me.
Yeah. They got the white flags?
Yeah.
Venezuelan
they walked in waving.
It's always a cheap joke.
It really was.
Yeah.
Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado presented President Trump with her Nobel Peace Prize award when she met him at the White House yesterday.
Kenny, I got a plaque for winning the second best triumph last year at the Triumph Convention. I'm going to give it to you.
Who was the first?
I know you don't have one.
Who did you lose to?
Oh, somebody in Kentucky. Yeah,
I've got enough second place trophies. Yeah. I don't need your garbage.
All right.
Do they base the winner of the Triumph Convention on who leaks the least amount of oil?
No, because we're on grass. You couldn't tell.
Oh, you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Is your second place plaque prominently displayed anywhere?
No, not really.
My second place trophies are prominently displayed.
I've never won anything except a second place in anything.
In 2 motorcycle races and in 2 snowmobile races, I was the first loser. I'm pretty proud of that.
Well, I would like one of your motorcycle trophies.
I'll trade it for one of your.
I deserve one. Yeah,
I'll trade it for a plaque.
Yeah. Can you imagine this guy actually accepted it? I mean,
yes.
Are you what? Hello?
It is embarrassing.
It's beyond embarrassing. Yeah. The Nobel Committee said, hey, forget it. She won it, and that's how the record is going to stand.
How do you not have that tact to say, nice gesture?
You're surprised? Even I was surprised at this one.
I know a snowmobile racer that a couple of years ago, when he took second, he protested first.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he gave up his protest after all his friends and family talked to him. And he was like, oh, never mind.
Nobody deserves the Nobel Prize more than me.
Well, she did.
The meeting between Trump and Machado came as the U.S. made its first sale of Venezuelan oil since capturing Nicolas Maduro earlier this month. Details of the sale, reportedly valued at $500 million, were not available immediately. Separately, the U.S. seized its 6th sanctioned oil tanker with alleged ties to Venezuela. The ship, known by a variety of names, including the Veronica, the Galileo, the Pegasus, was owned and managed by a company in Russia.
Is he going to scratch her name off the plaque and put his name on there, and then hang it in the White House?
Yeah, sure. Just like with a screwdriver scratching it out.
Yeah.
What's the medal for second? Is it silver?
Yes.
I actually have one of the races I lost is a silver medal with a green sash.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I agree with what your comments were a couple minutes ago. Second place is the first loser.
What's the deal with Patrick today?
We are having him.
Good.
Yeah.
Under pressure to address affordability issues in the country, President Trump yesterday released his long-awaited health care plan, urging Congress to pass measures that would codify steps his administration has already taken to try and lower drug costs and providing what a White House official called broad direction to back health savings accounts. The plan was short on specific details and left much of the direction of how to finalize it up to Congress. It amounted to a few paragraphs on a web page released with a video of the president promoting what he called the Great Health Care Plan. The plan rejects efforts to extend the Enhanced Affordable Care Act benefits that expired at the end of the year and have been the subject of intense debate on Capitol Hill. You remember way back during the campaign for the presidency 2 years ago, the president, when asked about his health care plan, said he had the concepts of a plan. A paper with a 165-year history of editorial independence is now getting orders from the Pentagon about the direction it should take. We're talking about Stars and Stripes, founded during the Civil War, published continuously since World War II. Its independence now appears under strain after Sean Parnell, a Pentagon spokesperson, posted a statement on X that said the paper would refocus its content away from woke distractions that siphon morale. Currently, the paper operates as a modern multimedia outlet featuring a website, active social media channels, podcasts, and a print edition distributed to troops around the world from Monday to Friday. Shortly after the statement was posted, Stars and Stripes journalist Corey Dixon reported that the Pentagon suggested Thursday it would take over content decision-making of the paper, highlighting that the statement appears to challenge the historic editorial independence of Stars and Stripes.
We didn't execute that Washington Post reporter yet, did we?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No. Say,
Execute.
I was going to ask you, there's a very good documentary about, what the hell's his name? Saya Hirsch on Netflix. Very interesting.
Seymour Hirsch.
Seymour, yeah. Deals with a lot of that issue.
He was quite the Vietnam reporter.
He broke the My Lai, the whole My Lai story.
Yeah.
I feel I should probably offer this up because we talked about it a couple of days ago. There's
breaking?
No, well, somewhat. This is from Liz Collin a couple of hours ago. We talked about the number of Minneapolis police officers that have applied for the paid family leave program.
Yes.
Multiple sources are now confirming to Alpha News that this number has climbed to more than 100 Minneapolis police officers. Keep in mind, that's a force that's less than 500.
Now, does the state have the ability to decline based on the need for public safety?
I don't know, but according to
Do you
this,
blame any of those cops?
There are no provisions in the law to limit the number of parties from any one entity from being granted leave all at one time, and the requests go through HR, so the entity doesn't know who's going until they are gone.
Huh.
And also,
because they have to submit
about
to the
100
state.
About 150 Minneapolis police officers are currently eligible to retire.
Ooh, boy. We're going to be one hell of a place to live here.
Gabe, you want to switch jobs and become a cop?
I think I talked to Seymour Hirsch. I think Yatesy and I interviewed him.
That could be. I mean,
late 80s.
Forever.
Why would that have been? Just a book. Probably a book tour.
He had books out, and he's followed, every major story, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. College basketball world rocked yesterday after the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania unveiled indictments of 20 people alleged to have hatched a game-fixing scheme that impacted at least 39 players, 29 games, and 17 Division I men's basketball teams during the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
The indictment paints a detailed picture of how a hive of high-stakes gamblers, Marvis Fairley and Shane Hennon, worked with trainers, an AAU coach, and a pair of former D1 players to recruit current players to fix game outcomes and both first half and full game spreads. Players were incentivized with bribes that the indictment said ranged from 10 to 30 grand per game, results that gamblers often bet well north of $100,000 on. For the most part, the scandal steered clear of the sport's biggest, most successful programs. Instead, the gamblers recruited players from mid- and low-level schools. The lone high major team involved in the indictment was DePaul, with allegations that players tried to fix at least 3 games. By then, DePaul was already experiencing one of the worst seasons by a high major team in recent college basketball history. They finished the season 3-29 and did not win a single Big East game, parted with head coach Tony Stubblefield in late January. January. That context tells how 3 Blue Demon players, Deshaun Nelson, Jalen Terry, and Macabre Etienne, were allegedly convinced to join the scheme. In the first game in the indictment, the gamblers bet on Georgetown to cover the first half spread. The team's point guard was scoreless in the first half, and Georgetown covered easily. Terry then scored 16 points in the second half to help DePaul nearly come back and win the game. To illustrate how invested the players were in the scheme in a different game against St. John's, the indictment says Etienne was texting with the gamblers mid-game about plans to keep the ball away from a player not involved in the scheme who was playing well.
Bet on this. Bet on this.
There was Johnny. Did you see the story where the NBA guys that got busted a couple of months ago? One of the guys, the reason why he was caught was he kept betting the over on the number of turnovers he'd have.
Oh, God.
And so there was a video clip of showing him just basically throwing it to the other team.
One of those high-stakes gamblers, Chris, was involved actually in the NBA scheme, too. So he was involved in both the college and the NBA one.
Man.
So, yeah.
I wish we had that in radio. Don't they bet on radio
yeah, if you could throw a segment.
What's the over-under that Reavers and Rookie are in trouble today? It's 7. Whoops. Why isn't Rookie talking today? He took the under.
That A-League astronaut came back to Earth with 3 others yesterday, ending their space station mission more than a month early. SpaceX guided the capsule to a middle-of-the-night splashdown in the Pacific near San Diego, less than 11 hours after the astronauts exited the ISS. Their first stop was a hospital for an overnight stay. It was an unexpected finish to a mission that began in August and left the orbiting lab with only 1 American and 2 Russians on board. NASA and SpaceX said they would try to move up the launch of a fresh crew of 4. Liftoff right now is targeted for mid-February.
I missed it, John. Was it a guy or a gal that was sick?
They still did not identify who had the medical issue.
Could have been morning sickness?
I don't know.
John, thank you.
No, Kenny. You're welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
Kenny, I got it. That was funny. We're nuts. All of us. You know that? Yeah. We are nuts, and wearenutsmn.com. Made the stop. I had to go to Cub Food. Sorry, Mike Fratelloni. You weren't a convenient stop for me this morning. I had to stock up on the cinnamon toffee peanuts for the kiddos for the weekend. And you know what? It's a wonderful family-owned operation making quality, handmade small batch snacks right here in the great state of Minnesota. The cashew is a big hit in the Souchere household. The milk chocolate almonds. I personally love the maple bourbon toffee almonds. Those are fantastic. But you can see their entire lineup on the website, which is wearenutsmn.com. The wasabi savory snack mix also spectacular. It's got a little kick. Got a little kick. But you know what? It's pretty good. Let's see. What else are we going to feature here today? I don't know. Like I said, the cinnamon ones, the hot nuts are also, I didn't think I'd like those, but I mix those with the regular toffee peanuts. And
Let's go get some almonds.
Yeah, the almonds are pretty good too. But Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores, Cub Foods, County Market, Lunds and Barley's, Kowalski's, who am I forgetting? Quick Trip, Max Hardware. The list is growing because that's how fantastic these snacks are from We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. But if you can't make it there, place your order online and let them know that you heard about them here on the Garage Logic podcast.
This is Ricey. You've been hearing my friend Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, for years on the radio and the Garage Logic podcast. With summer coming on, I strongly recommend you sit down with Josh for your no-cost, no-obligation, 48-minute consultation on your investments, including your IRA and 401k. You can benefit from Josh's years of experience navigating different market and economic conditions, and he'll always give you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice. Give Josh a call now at 952-925-5608 and book your no-cost, no-obligation 48-minute consultation. 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did meet with Josh, and tell him that Ricey sent you.
You know what, Pat?
Yes, sir.
We have 5 chances for weather, counting the college championship game.
Well, not is what are we going to have in Miami? A tornado?
Well, they could have a big rain, but you got Buffalo
I don't
and
like
Denver.
rain. I like football and snow, but I don't like it in rain. All the mud, you can't see the numbers and that kind of
right.
stuff. So
Buffalo,
I don't like mud.
Yeah. Buffalo at Denver, there's a chance.
Oh, you can get rain and snow there. Yeah.
San Francisco at Seattle, that'd be a rain chance.
And they got the open stadium there too.
That's what I said. You got Houston at New England, there's a chance.
Oh yeah.
And Rams at Chicago, there's a chance.
Oh God, yeah.
That's a night game. And did you see the daytime
5:30
high?
p.m.
Daytime high in Chicago is going to be 10.
I know, we're having a cold spell.
She's going to be a chilly one at Soldier
boy.
Field.
That's the kind of weather where Richard Royce would have sent letters to the Rams and said, look at this.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. What do you think? Yeah. Dear Dick, what happened to your great quarterback, Joe Cap, and Roman's ex-wife? That was the highlight of the old man's life. A week after the Super Bowl, Roman Gabriel's wife sent him a letter with a picture of Joe Cap being let off the field. I got to tell that story one more time because he sent it. Roman Gabriel, Los Angeles Rams, Los Angeles, California.
It got there.
You got to have some address here. You can't just send that, and it got there. So anyway, that's when you could rely on the. That's why the post office didn't come up with reasons to throw your mail out. They came out with reasons to deliver it. Right.
Patrick, speaking of football, I feel that I owe you an apology because I cannot believe I did not call you the other day so that we could celebrate the 25th anniversary of 41 Donuts since we were both in attendance.
It was I was a little misty thinking about that. Most fun I ever had at a football game, I'll tell you. 34-0 at halftime. And the quips coming from press box row were unbelievable. And the Vikings officials were sitting up behind us, just looking glum and everything. And Kevin Seifert, who's probably the most respectful, finest journalist I ever worked with, he said, "Look at Waswai. It looks like a dog chasing a Frisbee down on the, they fake throwing him a Frisbee." Even Seifert was making smart ass remarks.
Pat, it got so bad in the stands, and trust me, we did not have good seats. We were about one row away from touching the top of the stadium. The Giants fans bought us a beer in the second half.
They felt so bad.
That's how bad they felt for us.
It was what I remember what I remember about that game too was before the game I was walking towards the press box up there high, and this guy collapsed out in the hallway, right? And all these Giants, this guy was there, and there was somebody trying to attend there, and all these Giants fans were just stepping over him.
I got to get to 232, row 7.
Guy was there, and they were, nobody stepped on it. They were nice enough to step over him, but they were. There you go. They were not.
Hey, let's go through these. Let's go through these. Buffalo at Denver.
Buffalo.
I hope so, but I
hope so too.
I think it's close, but it's going to be up to Josh to do it. I think. Yeah, let's go with Buffalo.
All right, Buffalo. San Francisco at Seattle.
Oof.
Well, Darnold might be hurt.
Yeah,
you got some problem.
But the Niners don't have anybody left.
Yeah, that's right. They
Kittle's
got all
out.
those injuries. Yeah, and Seattle didn't have to play last week.
All right, let's go Seattle.
Probably Seattle because of their defense.
Now we turn to Sunday. Houston at New England. I'm going New England.
That's going to be the best game of the weekend, I think.
Well, yeah, I like Houston a lot. I like them defensively, but New England's going to have to play better than they did last week. That's for sure.
Well, I'm still going New England. Rams at Chicago.
The Rams.
I'm going to go Bears. I'm going Bears.
If it's going to be 10 degrees, the Rams. You think they're really good, but then they end up having fight like heck to beat a bad team last week.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I know one thing. I'm glad I won't be there.
Me too.
With those people, because they would once again question my girth and homosexuality.
Plus, they all look like they've escaped from a zoo.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Just
They've
terrible.
gotten worse. I haven't been there for 15 years. They've gotten worse.
Oh, it is
They've
worse.
gotten drunker. It was unbelievable.
And Monday, I'm taking Indiana over Miami.
Did you see the secondary market for
I don't
tickets
think I'm
for
on
that
a limb,
game?
am I?
No. The Indiana should win handily. It's going to cost you about $4,000 to get into that game.
Really?
Yes.
And 80% will be Indiana.
Yes. Yep.
Where is that ballpark? The Hard Rock Stadium.
Off the. I think.
Is it up as far as Fort Lauderdale?
No, it's about halfway.
All right,
it's halfway. Yeah. So it's up there somewhere. They played baseball there for a while. No, did they play baseball there for a while? Yeah.
They have two Stanley Cups that went to a team that has a rink somewhere in a strip mall by the Everglades. Maurice Richard is rolling over in his grave.
I'm glad you brought that up because, I've been predicting a Stanley Cup for the Wild. I was at my first game of the year last night. I've canceled my
Pat, what has happened to them lately?
Walz couldn't stop a beach ball last night, for one thing. And then Kirill Kaprizov didn't score, but he also didn't have a shot.
Jeez.
He got 3 goals in the last 13 games or something like that. I don't know what's going on with him.
Boy, the boys have fallen on hard times, but watch them recover now on the road. They like the road.
Yeah, that Hughes is fun to watch, so, man, alive.
You know what he can do, Pat? He can do stuff.
He can handle the puck.
Yeah, he can do stuff.
He has the puck in his possession 1 minute more than any other player in the league.
That's because he might be smarter than many players in the league, and he's not going to throw it away.
Yeah, that's probably true. But God, he's something.
We really miss Ecker. We need him back.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the extent of his injury?
I
don't. They just keep saying, Kenny, lower body, but you're right. They do. He gives them an edge. He's a tough bird, and I don't know. He keeps getting. He missed a hunk last year too, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Around the net, he really. There's no good way to put this. He really pisses the other team off.
Oh God!
And I love that so much.
I was going to say the same thing. Nobody likes to play against him because he's big and he's
a Swede, isn't he? Is Zach a Swede?
Swede, yeah.
Well, that's rare for a Swede to be that ornery.
Well, they've gotten tougher in their old age.
Yeah.
But back in the day,
there were too many Swedes on the team.
Yeah, Al Morganti. You know what's wrong with this Swedish team? They got too
many Swedes. Too many Swedes.
Pat, you know what else we have tomorrow, don't you?
By the way, Joe, I got to mention. Right. Remember the first tough Swede?
Noted.
Ulf Samuelsson.
Yep.
Remember him?
Yep.
Ulf Samuelsson was the first tough Swede. Go ahead, Chris.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Outdoor hockey.
We got Hockey Day tomorrow in Hastings.
Is it hockey
it's tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
Who's playing the Raiders?
I don't know. Yeah, but I was going to ask you.
I know the Academy's playing.
Is our guy Manny Hill on the PA for that game?
It could be. Hey, by the way, they got a beautiful, I guess they did a beautiful job of building that ice rink out there. Somebody was telling me last night at the Wild game that they did a great job with it.
Is it right where the football on the football field?
I don't really know, but
okay.
They said they did a terrific job.
We got Hastings girls versus Park, Hastings boys versus East Ridge, Rock Ridge versus the Academy, and it is broadcast on Bally Sports North, ending with the Wild game.
Well, the Wild is at 11:30 in the morning at Winnipeg. No. Yeah, tomorrow. Yes, Wild. Oh, I'm sorry, at Buffalo. 11:30 a.m. at Buffalo tomorrow, the Wild. So how do they fit into Hockey Day?
So are you guys sure it's this week?
So this is, the dates are the 17th to the 24th. The main event, it does say January 24th. So the Wild must be playing later on the 24th.
Uh-huh. January 24th is a Monday.
When are the games in Hastings? Saturday?
I thought I read that they were tomorrow.
The actual hockey day is January 24th.
That's a Monday.
Okay.
So we got to build up to it. But those games that I just mentioned are on January 24th.
Huh.
Is that MLK Day?
No, MLK is Monday.
It's Monday.
Is that?
If we don't have people completely confused now, we'll never will.
There'll be a test.
Just go to hockeydaymn.com.
I
wish you'd
introduce
interject
a further
something.
complication?
Here we go.
Why would you have Hockey Day on a Monday?
The 24th is a Saturday, Joe.
So here Saturday, the Minnesota Warriors.
What the hell? I'm looking at a calendar here.
Well, that's the Star Tribune. That might have been a paper you received a week ago.
Oh, wait.
So
yeah, that's a Saturday.
Thanks, Joe.
Tomorrow at 8, the Minnesota Warriors versus the Minnesota Warriors. At 10, Rochester Century John Marshall versus Rochester Mayo. That's boys. 1 p.m. Lakeville versus Maple Grove. That's girls. Wayzata and Rogers at 4. And Rosemount, the Irish versus Holy Angels at 7 p.m. tomorrow. And then there's all sorts of games during the week.
Oh, so they made it Hockey Week in Minnesota?
That is correct.
Well, we've really screwed this up.
HockeyDayMN.com.
Yeah, find it on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own for
We're not
this
here
thing.
for information.
I got to tell you a quick tale. Last night, I'm at my first Wild game of the year. You got the excuse, the out of action there for a month and everything. But I got to go down and say hello to Leopold, at the end of the first period just to say hello. I'm going to talk to him for 2 minutes. So I'm waiting it's 1-0. I'm waiting at the elevator. It's 2-0. Boom, they score while I'm waiting at the elevator. I get in the elevator. I walk over to go to the suite. Somebody comes out, and I said, ask Craig if he'll come out and say hello. He comes out. I don't know that it's 3-0. They got a score. They gave up a goal while I was in the elevator.
Oh, no.
So the owner wasn't in too good a mood.
No.
The fastest 2 goals on home ice in Wild history, 8 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, it was 8+, and then they got it at 1.6 left. The Wall did not have a...
Did he ever get pulled? Did they pull him finally?
Yeah, they pulled him after 2, yeah.
Okay.
They allegedly, they played him, Kenny, because he was bad against New Jersey, and they wanted to rebuild his confidence. That may not have worked too well. And
How'd that work out for you?
They finally said, "The hell with you." You know what's sad about hockey, though? Like, he was, the coach, Heinze, was asked about Wallstead after the game. Russo asked him some elaborate question about the soft goal he gave up. And, I'm not going to talk about specifics. That was never a problem for hockey coaches, even 10 years ago. They loved telling you how horse crap one of their players was. It was great.
It was motivation.
Yes, it was great. Yeah. You got to call them out. And, Mike Keenan had eight different teams. 8 different teams. He never said a good word about a player in his whole life. They all suck.
Who's the guy the Wild had that went to Columbus because he just got bounced from Columbus?
Evason.
Dean, yeah.
Nice guy. He just got fired. I was talking last year. He was here on opening day, and Dean said something. Well, it's second job, and I said, Dean, don't worry. You get fired there, you'll have 3 or 4 more. Don't worry.
Right.
Well, whoever gets fired now before the end of the year, don't be surprised if Dean's the replacement. That's the way
Ricey says, don't look at the bright side. If you get gassed, you'll get another
Don't
gig.
worry about it.
This is hockey. For
It's hockey. They just keep shuffling them around.
Well, it's like being a consultant. You're a specialist. You should get paid more.
Boudreaux got fired at 10 a.m. in Washington from the Capitals one year. The next day he was in Anaheim being the new coach of the Ducks. They put him on a plane that night.
It's not bad.
I miss that fat little guy.
God, Pat, there's a thing that keeps surfacing every time the Wild screws something up, and it's him just throwing the biggest F word you've ever seen, and the caption reads, darn.
Darn. Well, they have the old clip of him coming in to talk to the Washington team during between a period.
Nobody can do that like a hockey coach.
The nicest thing he called anybody was an MFer. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Kind of like Sid, actually.
Yeah, right. Yes.
There's no greater documentary on sports. It's now 10 or 12 years old than that one before the New Year's Day game when you had Tortorelli and Lavalette, the two biggest jackasses ever, and they did it like 3 weeks before they go to all their games, and there's more cussing in that hour documentary than that. I think it was a 4-parter, and it's fabulous. It's still around. But.
Well, root for bad weather this weekend, son.
All righty. I'm rooting for Reaver's team. I like to see Josh. Josh Allen deserves to win a Super Bowl.
Yes, he does. This could be his year.
And I have it on good authority, Patrick, that if they do advance, there will be viewing parties at Highmark for both the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
Now, you're not
You might be there.
enough to drive out for a
He's going to drive out there to watch it on TV. All right, Patrick, thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you. I'm what?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm really... I don't know. I'm
looking forward to...
Yeah, me too.
Football.
Well, here.
This is the best weekend of football of the entire year.
Well, it is, but...
How do you do it?
I'm going to check.
I need some snow, and I'm not going to watch a game unless it's snowing.
I don't like rain. I can't see the numbers.
Too much mud.
Yeah, hey, get that.
Who's
mud
got
off
the
that
ball?
guy. God bless you, Gabe.
Boy, I'm glad I'm not in Florida. 63 degrees down around Naples.
What
Bring in
time
your
is
pets.
it down there?
Bring in your pets.
2 o'clock. 75% chance
Kenny,
of snow.
I got you.
Yeah, I was wondering if I get the time and the temp.
You actually answered.
Oh, God.
He actually gave the time.
I gave him the time.
Well, Kenny.
I have to
Kenny
laugh.
just rookie Joe.
Yeah,
time
good
is it
job.
down
Well played, by the way. Well played.
He actually answered.
Oh, I don't want to talk anymore about the fraud.
Oh, ice. Let's bring it up to round it down.
What's going on?
We're
What
in
are
the
they
middle,
doing now?
We're in the middle of a urination match.
Who they got?
And that's
Our guy didn't even bring up ice or Trump or anything in his weekly sports report. I'm proud of him.
Hey, how about that Mike Lindell?
well, he might as well win at this point. Doesn't make any difference.
I saw one poll where he's in the lead, unfortunately.
Well, that can't be true. But I don't doubt you.
Yeah.
16 votes closing the poll.
Right. Yeah. 12 votes.
You know, if you want to follow the traveling Lymans on their world travels, you go to worldwidewaftage.com. They're in Kaiwaka, New Zealand right now, where it's probably very warm.
What time is it there?
I don't know. It was on this day,
Joe,
though.
today is January 16th.
Well, it was on this day in 1874 that Wilmer was incorporated. It was called a village. In 1869, the township was named for Leon Wilmer, a Belgian agent for European investors in the St. Paul and Pacific Railroad Company. Wilmer became a city in 1901. This is the part where you usually say they have a pretty good town ball team.
No, they have an independent baseball team.
Right.
I will say they do have a talk juggernaut, KWLM. Is their
This
talk
one,
8:26 a.m. tomorrow in Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh, it's already tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 73 degrees right now in Kaiwaka.
Hey, email the
Johnny, I knew you were
Lyman's
looking
and
that up.
get the
Thank you.
winning Powerball number since it's tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Say, this has always been one of my favorite this days in history
Same.
coming up because it really didn't deserve to be made a day in history, but it did. On this day,
Jan 16.
in 1958, what a world we must have had in 1958, because it was reported that the Winona Daily News announced that 36 chinchillas, along with feed, cages, and other supplies, had been donated by a student and his dad to the biology department of St. Mary's College.
What year was this?
1958.
I bet it was probably my grandpa, Peter Mahalski. I bet.
Did he have a chinchilla farm?
Yes.
And the chinchillas were to be used. He didn't, did he?
Right off of 5th. Right, just around from St. Cashmere's and
The
Evie's
chinchillas were to be used.
Did they dissect them and eat them?
In research.
Mostly, not all of them. A couple of them went to Uncle Gale's. He had an appliance store down in Arizona.
You got to double boil those chinchillas.
Yeah, we found that out. We found that out early, believe me.
And the chinchillas were to be used in research on improving the breed.
Hard to catch.
Whose fur...
They got little leashes on them as they're cruising around.
Like little marmots.
Yes, thank you.
Whose fur is often made into expensive coats for women.
Oh, Grandma Gerd had very nice coats, and every once in a while, she
were the feet
gloves.
still on them?
Yes.
I never knew what those things were. Those mink things that had the feet still on them.
You want to kind of shave down the toenails?
Yeah.
But other than that, they look good when you're going to a polka wedding.
I see. On this day in Minnesota sports, so your uncle really didn't have a chill.
Well, it was Uncle Gale had the appliance, so that was for real. But Grandpa Peter, he did not.
I didn't know that. What was the name of the
man.
What was the name of the appliance store?
Gale's Appliance.
Oh, it's
very clever.
Very novel.
Gale Schultz.
Very
Gale's
novel.
Appliance. He was my godfather, and
Okay,
Eleanor was
okay.
my godmother. And you know what? They didn't show up to my baptism because they were probably playing golf.
They're probably working on a stove.
So
or something.
Grandpa Red stood in.
Oh.
And the priest says, "What is your name?" And instead of saying Matthew Robert McCoskey, he said George Elmer Maddock. He wasn't quite.
He didn't understand
really
the
up to
flow.
He may not have been, in the right mind.
He was half in the bag.
Yes.
Mostly in the bag. All the way in the bag.
On this day in sports disappointment history.
January 16th.
Well, on this day in 1970, there was NFL realignment.
Was that the merger?
I don't know.
That's a fun fact.
On this day,
Jan 16.
in the year 2000, the Vikings lost a divisional playoff game to the Rams 49-37.
Yeah.
During the game, Randy Moss squirted an official with a water bottle and was fined $40,000.
Yep. Can't do
Handed
that.
to him by Sammy Casalenda.
Was it?
Yeah. Sammy handed him the water bottle. And he squirted the ref.
On this day,
Jan 16.
in 2005, the Vikings lost a divisional playoff game to the Eagles, 27-14. So these are real sports disappointments, aren't they?
They are. They're bringing me back, and I don't like it.
I can't get over the statistic I heard last week. It's just an amazing one. In 4 Super Bowl losses, the Vikings never scored a first half point. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that?
I don't like to think
you know
of
what
that stuff.
is?
I like to turn it around.
Dedication.
Yeah, it is.
Dedication.
By the offense, yes.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you, GLers. And just there's a war going on. You know, you got one side and the other side. Be
Stay
careful.
out of the streets.
Be careful.
Have a care.
You think that'll change things by proclamation?
Have a care.
No.
Do us a favor if you haven't done so already. You should join the thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers on the Garage Logic YouTube channel, where you can watch the show each and every single day starting right around noon. And on that channel, you can see full segments. There's video shorts and there's even behind the scenes footage. Just search Garage Logic on YouTube, along with all of our social media channels. That includes Facebook, Instagram, and X, and also sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up today at garagelogic.com. It is time once again to talk to our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And now is the time for you to do the same. So do not delay. Do exactly what I did and pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh. And he is there for you for that free, yes, I use the word free, 48-minute financial consultation consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice. And he is on the line with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And boy, Josh, a lot to look forward to with the long weekend ahead. But big options and expiration dates. But are you saying sell, sell, sell right now?
I'm seeing sell, and there are only a few places where it's buy. But most of today's action, I think, is from large investors, maybe small investors concerned about a long holiday weekend and wanting to increase their cash position. This has happened frequently on, we'll say, long weekends where investors move to the sideline, and then if I add in the extra volatility around options expiration, we get this added benefit. This, I'll say, despite some reasonably good news this week on earnings, just a lot of profit taking, and many stocks are trading down to the largest option position, regardless of the company's prospect. Now, next week we do have some more earnings coming, including from Netflix and a few other tech names will start reporting. Following week after that, it starts getting a little bit more hot and heavy until we come to the end of the month with Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and Meta reporting in the last week. So we're also in, we'll say, a semi-quiet period where companies are not going to be coming out with a lot of new news, and that creates some uncertainty on the part of some investors. So the answer is sell first, wait to see what the earnings report is, and then try to jump back in on that news. Plus, there's, again, continued concerns about international affairs, what may or may not happen in Iran, Greenland, Venezuela, or China. So a lot of, we'll say, macro along with the micro. And that's one of the reasons that I continue to say, in terms of the asset allocation model that I use with my clients, of keeping up to 30% in cash, both for safety and to take advantage of some of the pullbacks that will inevitably occur. And that does give you the opportunity to pick up good companies on a pullback. Now, one thing that could also be impacting technology shares and technology indices is the negative action in software stocks, which has been ongoing, we'll say, for many months. We've seen companies from Salesforce.com to Adobe to ServiceNow to some extent even Microsoft being sold as concerns come up that their product could be replicated a lot cheaper through artificial intelligence. Now, many of the straight-up artificial intelligence companies, such as OpenAI, Anthropic, and others, have not gone public and are privately held. And the belief is that sometime later this year that those companies will be going public, and there'll be tremendous demand for them. So that is just another bit of caution. On the flip side, hardware-related companies, whether it be Taiwan Semiconductor, NVIDIA, Marvell, Advanced Micro Devices, Applied Materials, Seagate, Micron, and Western Digital, have all seen their shares move higher, as I do believe that money has left the software space for some of these names as demand for, we'll say, the hardware artificial intelligence, whether it's in memory devices, equipment, or semiconductors, is so far exceeding supply. Add on to that a recent announcement that the U.S. and Taiwan have completed a trade deal that would have Taiwan investing about $250 billion into the United States. Most of that's going to be led by Taiwan Semiconductor, expanding their manufacturing facilities in the United States. Taiwan Semi, as I've said before, earlier this week, reported better than expected earnings as demand for manufacturing and chips is very significant, both in terms of the hyperscalers, which would include Amazon, Google, Meta, among others, and the need for chips for smartphones affecting the likes of Apple and Samsung is big and is only getting bigger at this at this point in time. Taiwan Semi has hit a new high and probably be one of those companies that you would look for as a backbone for manufacturing.
Excellent advice, as always, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation, again, with zero obligation. And you do that just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608, where you always get straight talk and never, ever sugar-coated advice. Josh, as always, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will talk to you again next week.
Look forward to it, Chris.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorsement.